Hi everyone, my name is Beata Motusevic. I'm a counselor here for undergraduate admissions, and thank you for joining me here today for our admitted student presentation. So we'll start off talking about what Rutgers has to offer academically. You'll see that we have over 100 different majors, and you probably know a little bit about that because you chose to apply to us, probably because we had your major. But it's important to know that we have over 100 different majors, and you can explore them no matter what major you are. So if you are a biology major who has interest in learning French, for example, you can do that. You can double major, you can major and just take classes in other majors, you can major and minor, you can combine any major you'd like to create an experience that you want over your 4 years here at Rutgers. Some of our classes are bigger, but we do have a 16:1 student faculty ratio. And so what that means is, yes, you will have lecture hall classes. We do have over 35,000 students here at Rutgers, New Brunswick, and a lot of students have to take a lot of classes at the same time. But when you have those lecture hall classes, you typically have something called recitation. That recitation is your chance to get a one-on-one with a TA in a smaller group setting. So for example, you might have 20 students out of your 200-person lecture, and with those 20 students, you meet once a week with a teaching assistant or the professor, and you learn everything you learned in lecture that day. So it's your chance to kind of get a smaller experience. We also have things called burn seminars and first year interest groups. So those again are also capped at about 20 or 25 students, and they're only open to first year students, which means you get a chance to meet other first year students as well as professors who want to teach you about the research that they're doing. So that's just one way to kind of get a smaller experience at our large school here at Rutgers. You'll also notice we do have over 200 graduate programs. And the reason we mention that is because we do have accelerated programs that you can apply into your junior or sophomore year. So you could start off doing a bachelor's degree and then within 5 years, finish your bachelor's and your master's. So there's, for example, a 5-year engineering MBA degree. We do have our 6-year pharmacy program, which you actually apply into from high school. We also have an accelerated medical program. Again, you'd apply into at the end of your sophomore year. So with over 200 programs, you can keep expanding your education while you're here at Rutgers. So we talked a little bit about what Rutgers has to offer academically. You have a lot of support for that as well. You have deans and advisors, as well as learning centers that offer free tutoring. But we also are here to support you after you leave Rutgers, and we want you to be successful when you do that. And that's why we have the Department of Career Services. So Career Services is the department that will work with you to make sure you have all those skills you need to do well once you graduate. So they have networking events. They also can teach you how to network, as well as how to make a great resume, and they can help you work on your interview skills as well. One of my favorite things that they do is the mock interview, where you sit down for a mock interview with them, but they treat it like the real thing, and they'll record it for you and then play it back and show you how you can do better the next time. They also bring employers to campus, so they do on-campus interviewing, but they also do career fairs, which is very similar to a college fair, except it's employers who come on in and you get to talk to a bunch of different ones to learn a bit more about their industry and to hand your resume out. So they are here, again, to make sure you're succeeding after you leave Rutgers. Your academic deans and advisors are going to make sure you do as well as you can while you're at Rutgers. Career Services is here to make sure your future is just as bright as it is when you're here at Rutgers with us. And so you'll notice that the map shows us, and we're right below New York City. We do have a train station on campus, and it's about an hour away from New York City, 45 minutes if you catch the express. I haven't caught it yet, but I'm told it is 45 minutes. And a lot of students will use that to have internships during the year. So instead of waiting for the summer for those very competitive internships, they'll have them during the fall and spring semester. Career Services does offer a credit for that. So you can take a 1 or 3 credit class for your internship, where you'll complete an online component while completing your internship, which means you can take 1 fewer class instead of having to have a full course load while dealing with a full-time internship as well. And so that's a really great opportunity to get hands-on experience without missing out on getting all the credits that you need. Geographically, we are below New York City, but the geography of Rutgers, New Brunswick is also a little interesting. So we have 5 different campuses that make up our one big campus. We have Bush Campus, home to our football field and a lot of our STEM programs. We've got Livingston Campus, home to the business school, as well as a diner and a movie theater that's on campus. We've got College Avenue, which is our most historical campus, also our most urban as well, and it's home to Old Queens, which is the very first campus we ever had. Further below, we've got Cook Douglas, which is Cook and Douglas combined into one because they are very close together. Cook is home to the Cook Farm, and it's where the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences is located. And you can actually raise a farm animal if you're part of the animal science program. Douglas campus was once the college for women in New Jersey, and it does still have a residential component for that program, but it's now part of Rutgers University as a whole. So together, those 5 campuses, again, make up our one big campus, but they're all self-sufficient. So they all have a student center, a residence hall, or multiple residence halls really, academic buildings, dining halls, gyms, anything you can think of, you'll find on each campus. And you can use all of them no matter where you live or where your classes are. The entire campus is open to you. So after learning about these campuses, you might be wondering, okay, well, where am I going to be? Well, we have 11 different schools here at Rutgers, New Brunswick, and they're housed all throughout the 5 campuses. As a student at Rutgers, New Brunswick, you can be on a school that's housed on Bush campus, for example, like the School of Engineering, but you can live on Livingston, Cook, Douglas, or College Avenue. You can also live on Bush campus if you want to, but you don't have to. So you're not tied to any one campus just because your major is housed there. So the School of Arts and Sciences, for example, is our biggest school. It has over 70 different majors. So for example, if you're a psychology student, you're based off of Livingston, but you don't have to live there. You can live on College Avenue. School of Arts and Sciences is also home to everything from art history to dance to biology to every major you can think of that we offer. It's probably in the School of Arts and Sciences. It's a great way to kind of explore different majors. So if you're undecided, you might want to start off there because you have so many different majors that you could eventually declare. Speaking of declaring majors, you don't have to do that until the end of your sophomore year, so keep that in mind. Moving on to the professional schools, we have the School of Pharmacy, which is a 6-year program. So when you start in the School of Pharmacy, you're graduating with a doctorate in pharmacy after 6 years. Your first 2 years are very general and foundational, which means that you will take biology, chemistry, things like that, get a very strong foundation before you move into those more specific pharmacy courses. We've also got the School of Engineering, which houses all of our engineering majors. And same thing, starts off with a very strong foundation before you really move into your engineering courses. The business school does something similar, and that's home to finance, accounting, marketing, majors like that. We've also got Mason Gross, School of the Arts. That is a performing arts school, performing arts and visual arts. So any arts you can think of, if you're looking to do a bachelor's of fine arts or a bachelor's of music, Mason Gross is where you'll be. You'll get a very intensive dive into the art that you're studying there. A lot of their programs are also offered through Arts and Sciences though. So if you're someone who wants to dance, you've been dancing and you want to continue that through school, you can do that through Arts and Sciences without having to do an intensive dance program through Mason Gross. Or maybe you just want to learn how to dance and you want to take one dance class. You can do that through Arts and Sciences, and it's the same faculty as Mason Gross too. So the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences is housed on Cook campus. I spoke about that a little bit before when I talked about the Cook Farm. As an animal science major, which is in the School of Environmental and Biological Sciences, you could raise your own farm animal for a credit right on that farm. So you get a lot of hands-on experience with animals, not just in the classroom and labs, but actually raising one on that farm. And last but not least, we have the School of Nursing. It is actually our smallest school. So it has about 100 first-year students come in every year, and it's very intensive. You do over 600 clinical hours by the time you graduate. So that's why they keep the program very small, so they have enough room for all of their students to do all those rotations. So the schools that we just spoke about are schools you can apply into directly from high school. We do have 4 more schools. They're called upper division schools that you apply into at the end of your first or second year here at Rutgers. So those are the School of Management and Labor Relation, the School of Communication and Information, Blousing School of Planning and Public Policy, and the School of Social Work. So what you do is you take a couple of classes your first and second year before you're ready to apply into those and move forward into those specialized classes. No matter what school you're in, there is an opportunity for school-to-school transfer as well. So let's say you start off in the School of Arts and Sciences as a chemistry major, and you're really enjoying your chemistry classes, but you want to do a little bit more with them, you want to do something different with them, maybe you want to be a chemical engineer. You can follow the curriculum that the engineering school has set forth to then do a school-to-school transfer into engineering. And so you can do that into any of the professional schools. The only exception is nursing because it is so small. Every year they decide whether they have space for school-to-school transfers or not. So it's not a guaranteed thing to do if you want to get into nursing eventually. But the other professional schools, you can follow their step-by-step curriculum to make sure you're taking the right courses your first year to be eligible to do a school-to-school transfer later on. So now you know about our campus, the services we offer both academically and for career services, and you also know about the schools. But what are your next steps right now while you're still in high school? So as an admitted student, you do have access to something called Go Rutgers. It's an online platform where you can meet other students who are admitted. You can speak to current students here at Rutgers, and you can speak to admissions counselors as well. So it's a great place to get all of your questions answered. If you haven't joined yet, you really should. You might be able to meet your future roommate there. Students have done that where they've said, I don't want a completely random roommate. Does anyone want to pair up? And they do that. Out-of-state students will make the out-of-state student club. There's an international student club. And when I say club, I mean message board, which is just a bunch of students with the same interests posting messages about it. So with Go Rutgers, again, it's a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about what you're going into, what does Rutgers have to offer, and who else is coming into that journey with you. Once you've enrolled, you continue to go on Go Rutgers, but you also have access to something called My Rutgers. And there are going to be 2 widgets on there for you to complete, and they're called enrollment widgets. And that's where you'll send in your housing application, where you'll fill out a personality quiz basically, as well as a housing quiz. And the personality quiz is what they use to match you with a random roommate, if that's what you're going with. You can also request a roommate on there as well. The housing quiz will have you rank the 5 campuses in order and also tell your preferences about living in first-year housing or mixed housing where you're with first years and students who are older than you, for example, if you want all female or all male housing, for example. And they do their best to basically put it all together to put you in the best situation possible with the best roommate possible as well. Other things on there are where you would send your immunization records to, how to sign up for advising and planning for your school, where to send your AP scores, and things like that. So My Rutgers is going to be the checklist that you follow to make sure you're ready to come here in the fall. And again, that's after you enroll. So once you say, yes, I want to come to Rutgers, you go onto the My Rutgers platform and you start filling all of that out. So you go on Go Rutgers first, and then My Rutgers once you decide to come to Rutgers. So thank you all for joining me here today. I hope you learned a little bit more about Rutgers, learned some things you didn't know just yet. If you have any questions moving forward, feel free to send us an email. Our email address is questions with an S at the end at admissions, again with an S at the end, .rutgers.edu. We hope to see you on campus this fall.